We talk about Thomas in terms of being two people almost. Abdul Hakim being the man he became, but Thomas Evans being the son that you give birth to, your son and indeed your brother. So let's talk about Thomas to begin with. What was he like as a little boy? What was he like growing up as a son and as a brother?
A normal little boy. He loved making mug pies in the garden, things like that. Big Manchester United fan when they won the treble, as all boys were at that time. Loved BMX biking, just normal things.
And your relationship, Michael?
Growing up, he was my best friend. You know, we did everything together. We had the same group of friends. We went out BMXing every night after school. So for me, it was quite difficult just to kind of have that disconnect from him.
Well, you say about this disconnect, and he was about 19, wasn't he, when he joined a boxing club, and that is when things began to change for Thomas. What can you tell us about that time? What happened?
Well, he'd got in with the wrong crowd. He'd had a bit of trouble with the police, and he was going to this boxing club, and there was Muslims that used to go, and he used to go and meet them, and he started showing an interest in Islam. And I thought, well, this is a good thing, because it was initially. It calmed him down. He started going to the mosque, and he became more respectful. He became like the son I'd known before he began to change.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Following Islam is one thing because it's a peaceful religion, and
absolutely.
you know, the majority of people who follow it are peace-loving, law-abiding people.
It brought out the best in him.
Yeah, but it's such a big leap to go from that to committing murder, marrying a 13-year-old girl. Those things are so completely at the other end of extreme of what we know in this society as right and wrong behaviour. What happened? I mean, where did that come from?
I wish I had the answers. I wish I knew. I mean, he left to go to Egypt. He told me he was going there to learn Arabic, but of course, obviously he wasn't. He had other plans, which I knew nothing about. It was only when the police came and told us of where he'd been travelling to that I found out what was going on.
And were you in touch with him at all?
When he went to Egypt, I was initially in touch with him, and then he went missing for 4 months. And
you couldn't get in. You were trying, presumably, to get in touch.
Constantly, I was begging him to get in touch. Even said to him that I will go to the police and report you as a missing person, because I thought that would get his attention. But he ignored us. And I did actually fear the worst for a while. I thought he probably was dead at that point. And then when we got the call in the January to tell us he was with Al-Shabaab, my world just fell apart. Yeah.
That must be almost like losing him, like being bereaved at that point. You've lost the son you knew, and you can't even pull him back.
No, he was gone. Yeah. I suppose there was always that little bit of me hoped he might come back one day, but obviously, no.
It was the police that informed you, though, that he had joined the terrorist group, Al-Shabaab, who we know now from the press is committing some hideous crimes. How do you, as a family, then deal with knowing that he has managed to smuggle his way into Somalia? He got there illegally, didn't he? How do you deal with that, knowing what is going on? Or were you aware of anything at all at that point?
I never knew what he was doing. I used to say to him, because there was a time he went away for a while. Obviously, I realise now what he was doing. I found out later on. But he told me that he was just guarding things. He never told me what he was actually doing. I suppose, how would you tell your parents what you're actually doing?
I mean, just we're all parents here, and I just can't get my head around the fact that you've got one son sitting here who is just the product of, you know, a normal upbringing. And then you have this other son that becomes a murderer. In the name of I don't know what. And where you feel now, looking back, because you must have looked back over it endlessly, where that disconnect came. Where did he become so disenfranchised that he started behaving like that?
He originally started going to one mosque, and then he changed to go to another mosque, and it was when he became enrolled in this second mosque that things started to really change. That's when we noticed he was becoming... his interpretation of Islam wasn't right, but I didn't know where to go.
That's a really interesting point, because coming from the Muslim community myself, I know that, you know, when there is somebody who has been radicalised, you know, the Muslim community and the parents are really, why didn't you tell anybody? You should know what's happening to your children. And the weight of your shoulder, the weight is on your shoulders, and you feel incredibly guilty. And you're sitting here saying, well, my son was radicalised. I'm not a Muslim. I had no idea what was going on. So what advice would you give people, to anybody out there, if they feel that their children might be in danger?
If you've got any concerns, I would speak to the authorities, or Michael can come in on that bit more.
You
now,
work for a campaign called SAFE, don't you, Michael?
Yeah, where we provide long-term support to families who have gone through a situation like ours, or also who have early concerns about loved ones. And it's just to, if you have concerns, have that initial conversation. It might be a difficult conversation to have, but just to start the dialogue, just to know, just to let your child know that to put some doubt in their mind.
And just in case anyone is watching, well, I was going to say, just in case anyone watching thinks it's so rare, it's really not. No. Europe's counter-terror coordinator said the UK is home to the highest known number of Islamist radicals in Europe. That's between 20,000 and 25,000. 3,000 of those are considered a direct threat by MI5, and 500 are under constant surveillance. So it isn't as rare as you think.
It's a big problem. How has the community been to you since this has happened? Because you still live within your community, don't you?
Yeah, everybody's been very supportive. I think it's made them realise that it could happen to anybody. It's not... It's not just a Muslim family. It can be anybody.
You two are proof of that.
Yeah.